Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are, how you might be watching slash listening. Thank you for making this part of your day. I'm Justin,
I'm Alexander.
and we're the Pocky Podcast you're about to hear. And Alexander, I have a question for you. Since
Okay.
the Flames traded Zadorov to the Canucks, are the Windows next?
Um, what?
Oh, Zadorov. There's no. Or did they just have an open door policy now that Zadorov is gone? They traded Zadorov to the Canucks.
Okay.
There is no door left. Zador's gone.
Okay. Do we need to talk about the Pacific Division? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it could be,
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Rip the
Let's
band aid and
let's
dive right in.
let's line them up and shoot them down. Let's go good, bad, and ugly. What's a good, bad, or
Pew, pew,
ugly
pew,
team out of the
pew.
Pacific?
Well, let's start with the good because that's always a good place to start. And the Kings right now, gotta say they're off to a really nice start.
They are, particularly if they're on the road. They have
Yeah,
now broken the all-time NHL record of consecutive road victories to start a season
which is
because
crazy,
there's just enough modifiers in there to make it a stat nowadays,
right?
which 11 road victories in a row to start the year. So,
That's insane. Yeah.
golf clap for the Los Angeles Kings for
Woo.
playing better in California than in California
Right. And currently, right now, they are second in points percentage, which is pretty crazy.
in the league as a total.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, only a true prognosticator would have seen this coming. So, yeah,
Yes.
good on the Kings.
Right.
Stay healthy, play good all year, and then see what they do in the playoffs. Like, I mean, they're one of the teams,
Please no
in that group
Edmonton.
of
Please no
like,
Edmonton. Please no Edmonton.
get past the first round, right? Just
Right.
that's step one is get past the first round.
Yeah.
So they'll win the division this year and still play Edmonton.
Yeah. Somehow that'll be. Yeah. Do you think they'll want to be a wild card so they can start off on the road?
That would be great. Awesome. Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Yeah. Kings. Good. Who we
yeah.
look at as bad?
Calgary.
Why is Calgary bad?
I mean, they've kind of been starting to put it together a little bit. They're 5-4-1 in the last 10, but I mean, right now Markstrom broke his finger in practice on Monday, I think. So Vladar and Wolf are in net, which I mean, they can both hold their own if they need to. But new coaching system, new coaching style. Um, and they start off on the road, so I didn't really have time to practice. Just things are kind of clicking. It's kind of like that, your first car in high school. Some days it works real nice, and other days you need somebody to give it a jump start, and even then it's not real nice. So they're kind of getting it figured out some nights, and other nights they just look like hot garbage. So it's such a toss up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um. What finger did he break that he can't play goal? Like
I
I get where like
don't
I feel like
know.
in this position that'd be like I got a broken finger, but it's okay because I'll just cast it next to my other finger and I can still hold my stick.
Right? I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe want some time off to take a break, take a breather. You're playing me too much, coach. Or these
Okay.
fans think I'm garbage, so we'll see what's like without me. You know.
Feels like an Eminem song. All right. So the Kings are good. The Flames are bad. What's ugly in the Pacific Division?
Ooh, I have to say San Jose.
Oh, San Jose. So started their year with was it 10 straight losses, and they
Something
kept
like that, yeah.
should have been a tie.
Historic pace. Historically bad pace. Like, I think at one point they were projected to get like 8 wins on the year or something like that. So it's like,
Uh-huh.
bleh.
Yeah, they were
So,
absolutely terrible, almost historically terrible.
yeah.
And now they're just ugly. Like
Now they're just normal terrible.
good, bad, ugly, and then historically terrible. And they were historically terrible for the first I don't know 3 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But now that they actually have a winning record of their last 10 games, they've started to you know play better hockey.
Right? Is it?
They beat a playoff team tonight,
They sure
and
did,
so
which is weird.
yeah. Um, but hey, they didn't fire their coach, which seems to be the popular thing to do once you
I
start off bad.
know, just so annoying. I mean, sometimes this actually needs to be done. Other times, like, people need to have a little bit of patience. Because, bumps and valleys come along and go, and sometimes
I,
the coach needs a stretch to get it figured out.
I think it probably is more of a what are the expectations for the team deciding whether or not you fire a coach, because San Jose did not have expectations of being anywhere near the playoffs this year. So when you're bad, it's like, okay, we were going to be bad. We didn't think we'd be this bad. We knew we were going to be bad.
Right, yeah.
From good, bad, ugly to other things in the Pacific, a team that thought they were going to be good that was bad
Ugh.
was the Oilers, and they did make that
Mm-hmm.
coach, which everybody knew was the wrong thing to do,
And that's what
but
I was talking about. It's like,
because you have to
why?
do something. Again, something I don't understand.
No,
Uh,
I don't either.
and so you fire your coach that had the best winning percentage of the Edmonton Oilers ever, I believe. He had the
Yeah.
best winning. It's like it wasn't the coach's fault, but
No. I felt like McDavid was
fault.
hurt for a little bit too, wasn't he? Which, I mean, that'll slow you down.
Yeah, you would think that the team and that the ownership could acknowledge that, you know what, McDavid's hurt. When McDavid's not going, the rest of the team's not going. Once he's healthy, we'll be
when
fine.
when
But
half
nope.
your V8 engine goes out, the other half is not going to do great. So,
So
yeah.
anyway, I was disappointed kind of by that, because I think everybody acknowledges that Jay Woodcroft was actually a pretty good coach, and
Oh, yeah.
you shouldn't be fired
Yeah.
for what, 11, 12 games of bad play. Like, is that all it takes to
Yeah. No, that's
completely ruin your
that's
coaching
exactly what
career?
I was talking about. It's like, come on, you got to have a little bit of patience. I mean, I think coach needs at least 3 years to really make it his own team and get his. Well, I mean, sometimes after like half a season, oh yeah, this coach stinks, man. He's no, get him out. But
Yeah, but if the expectation is, divisional championship, President's Trophy, like
yeah,
a lot of us thought they would be, um, yeah, starting off as terrible as they did, where you're just about tied with the Sharks after
blah.
7 or 8 games in.
Panic, panic, panic.
Yeah, they were like 2 points better than a team that hadn't won any games. It was like, oh, that's
Jeez.
not good. So anyway, whatever.
Right.
They're playing better now. Won 5 in a row. Here they come.
Woo.
By the time we get to the next 60 games, I'm pretty sure they're going to be in the playoffs, and this
Probably.
will all be a forgotten memory.
They'll hire on some assistant, Tay Woodcraft. Wait, who's this guy? If Jay Woodcraft with a mustache or something,
Jay Woodcraft that stands normal, like a normal person. Oh yeah, can't
That's
be
what's
Jay.
the problem. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
Uh,
that man and his hips. Oh,
yeah. Right.
well,
So
is there anything else you would like to talk about out of the Pacific Division,
I don't
Justin?
think so. I mean, the Knights are doing what they're expected to do. The Canucks are surprisingly good, but curious if they'll be able to maintain it. And then the Ducks, they're being the Ducks off to a hard start and now kind of being where they should be. I think so.
Mhm.
So all right, where we
Well,
go next?
let's go to the Central. Just keeping the
Central.
Western.
Hey, I like it. Makes it easy.
All right, what is our good from the Central? What can we find
Good
this is?
is. Oh, I need to adjust my glasses here real quick just to make sure. Yep, still says Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. I thought they play in a college thing, and nobody wants to
Yeah.
play there, and they're not a very good hockey team, and they're still rebuilding. And
Yeah.
why are they plus 14 goal differential? Won the last five, beat the last five Stanley Cup champions in a row. I think. Well, first off, that's stupid, but also,
I know.
uh, it's still 5 wins in a row.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. That's more than Calgary has. Sheesh.
I don't know the last time the Coyotes would have won 5 games in a row. I
No.
imagine you
Oh,
got
like
to go back a little ways.
5 games in 2 weeks, even, or three
Yeah,
weeks, or a month.
yeah. Regardless of the competition, it's a tough
Yeah.
league to win 5 games in a row.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So, just bravo, Coyotes, for doing the thing.
Right.
Absolutely doing the thing.
That's right.
Uh,
Yeah. So that's mind blowing.
you, getting back to venting my annoyance with the stat of, oh, they've beat the last 5 Stanley Cup champions in a row. Um, okay, well, you're going back to 2018
Uh,
Washington Capitals to the 2023 Washington Capitals.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
should be happening.
yeah. Like there's 7 members of that Cup team still on the team, and 2 of them are injured, and one of them's on IR. Like you didn't just play a Cup team, and who cares? Like how often does a team have a chance to play the last 5 Cup-winning teams in a row?
Right? Yeah, that just
Like you could say no team has done this since such and such a date back in the '60s. Well, fine, but how many teams have even had a shot at playing the last 5 Stanley Cup champions back to back to back to back to in their schedule?
yeah,
That would be an interesting stat to me.
right.
Is how many teams failed to do this? It's like, well, there was a team in the '80s, there was a team in the late '90s and early 2000s that both had chances, and other than that, nobody else has ever had a chance to do it.
Right? Like, actually, this is like the only time it's ever happened. Huh? Weird.
Yeah, it coincides with eclipses, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
So,
like I said, good on them for putting some wins up on the board. So,
gotta win your games that you play, and
mm-hmm.
those are what's the play. They did a good job. So,
Mm-hmm.
if Coyotes are the good, who is the bad?
Let's see here. The bad would be the Minnesota Wild.
Okay, well, they were bad up until 4 games ago.
Yeah.
Then they made a coaching change, and now they've won their 4 games. And it's almost like the Edmonton thing, where it's like, you really have to fire the coach to wake the team up. Is that really what it takes?
Yeah.
Because I also didn't think Dean Evison was a bad coach.
No.
You know, maybe not my favorite coach because he was fairly intense all the time. But his team has played fairly well. His team seems to play fairly tough, and it's like, oh no, we had a run of 7 games where we didn't win. Got to fire the coach. It's coach's
That's right.
problem.
Can't just buckle
No,
down and weather through. Nope. Coach
the
gone.
coach doesn't play goaltender. You know, like
Yeah.
that was Edmonton's biggest problem. That was Minnesota's biggest problem. It's just the nature of the thing, but fine.
Yeah. What are you
I
gonna
think
do? Fire your coach, I guess. Ugh.
GMs don't fire head coaches. Goalies fire coaches.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that's how I feel about that.
Nope, I'm right there with you.
Then for an ugly, what is ugly in the Central Division?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Like, and this isn't necessarily ugly. Like, we knew they were gonna not be a good team this year. Everybody expected them to be bottom 5 again, but they thought they'd be bottom 5 with like Connor Bedard getting like 100 points. It was like, guys, no.
But they have Connor Bedard, yeah.
I feel like it's just a bit premature to crown a kid the Calder Trophy winner before he ever plays a single game. Um, I've seen enough of him that's like he's gonna be good, but let's dial back the
Back it up. Beep, 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 beep.
second coming of McDavid. Like, yeah, it's just oh well. I'm trying to think of what I would see him as a comparable to, and I don't know. Maybe he's a Patrick Kane.
Hmm.
You know,
All right.
really really elite shot. Thinks the game really well. Great passing hands and whatnot. Fast enough for what he needs to do, but he's not going to be McDavid. And he's not tall. You know, he's a little undersized for the NHL. So I don't know. But what else makes Chicago ugly other than
Well,
being bad?
Corey Perry is no longer on the team, which would that make them less ugly?
Depends how you feel about Corey Perry. Depending on what you want to believe, maybe he's not ugly to some people.
Hello.
But I will say this. Anytime somebody that has had a career of being a worm, as they may have called him, to be out of the league for potentially doing worm type stuff outside of the rink,
Right.
I'm okay with.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and his punchable face can not be on the ice anymore, and I'm fine with that.
Because maybe when it's like, there's some guys like, oh yeah, they're a real son of a gun out there on the ice, but in the locker room they're loved, and like in the community they're really well respected. Or maybe it's who they are on the ice is actually who they are, and
Yeah. Right.
they're just a jerk.
Yeah.
So
So that's been exciting. Yeah.
yeah, but hey, frees up more cap space for the Blackhawks.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't
Not
like
that they need it, but
like an extra
yeah.
2 million or something like that. So
And I don't know that this story is over. You
yeah, I
know,
don't think so. Although I'm
because
not
we
sure how
don't.
much we will hear it, but I think yeah, the story's
Yeah,
still going.
yeah. We'll see. We'll
Mhm.
see. Anything else for the Central you would like to highlight?
Not really. I mean, two
I,
teams at the
I
top you
feel like
expect to be there, so
Central is boring this year.
yeah.
It's like,
Every,
hey, look, Avs, Dallas are good. Winnipeg is keeping up.
uh
That was the interesting story. Didn't think the Blues would be good. Didn't think the Predators would be good.
Yep.
Thought the Wild would be better, and they probably will end up being better.
Right.
But there's aside from the Coyotes,
Yeah.
nothing really interesting in the Central. Probably
Yep.
the most boring division in hockey.
That's where I'm at. So, shall I bounce to the
Actually,
east then?
what I should
Oh.
say, one of the most boring divisions in
Oh
hockey.
yes, that's right. Are they the most boring or one of the most boring? Yes. Yes.
Oh, let's just keep scrolling up the website here and just go to the Metropolitan.
All right, in the metro. Okay. Okay. Who's good over there? Do you think?
I think, given the fact that the Philadelphia Flyers are, I would say, just above 500 is
Yeah.
impressive for me. But like positive goal differential, 6-1-3 in their last 10.
Say number
Like,
3 right now in the division.
and I would say that there's that possibility that they actually threaten for a playoff spot.
Right.
I feel like they're holding a spot right now that was expected to be taken by somebody that we might call bad. Uh,
Yes. Ooh,
who, if
yes.
they turn it around, will be a much better team than Philadelphia is now.
Right.
But that said, success breeds success, failure
Right.
breeds failure.
Wow.
So
I don't
maybe
know. I still think
like
Philly's going to Philly at some point, but you never know.
we'll see if they can keep everything murky and free up more playoff spots for the Atlantic Division, where my team plays. I'm
Hey.
fine.
Right.
So
That'd be helpful.
we'll see.
That would be
But
helpful.
you're a surprise team there, Philadelphia. Good on you.
Whew, yeah, we gotta say it. We gotta highlight it while we can.
Yep.
So, all right, who's the bad over there?
Oh, it's a coin flip between the Devils and the Penguins. I
Ooh,
would say the Devils have had injuries that are a lot of the reason why they've been bad. The Penguins have
uh-huh.
just been old and bad and maybe
Yeah.
poorly constructed. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Ooh. Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Almost like they went out and got a player that doesn't really fit just because they wanted to go out and get a big name player.
Right,
I,
it's a big
I,
name. He's gotta be good, right?
I don't know. Maybe you want to overpay for last year's success. I don't know.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, you make your mistakes and, so long as you didn't give the guy that made mistakes like a long-term contract, it'll be fine. Somebody you
Yeah.
can move on from like in another year or two if things just don't improve. But so long as the guy that's there doesn't have job security to make as many mistakes as he wants, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be an issue.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, well. Some people and teams and owners and management just never learn. You really
They
should
really
listen
don't.
to the semi-informed hockey fan outside of your market.
Right. Yeah. No kidding. No kidding.
Ugh. But being a semi-uninformed hockey fan outside of the market, I feel like I'm qualified to coach the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah. Right. No kidding.
So I'm just letting the cat out of the bag. That's our ugly team, and they're ugly
Yeah.
because they have benched, I think, just about everybody on their team at some point this season.
And scratched a couple extra, so yeah.
Yeah, from Line to Gaudreau to.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, what are you doing there? You're not a good team. We didn't
No,
think you were going to be a good team,
no.
but you can't be falling all over your own face.
Yeah.
Like, oh, golly.
I know. Like, oh yeah, I mean, they didn't have the head coach they were planning to have, but that wasn't ugly at that point too. When they you had him slated to be their head coach, I was like, no, that's, why? No,
Mm-hmm.
no. So, what you gonna do? Be ugly and hope for the number one pick?
Which will be picked by a different general manager than the one that's getting you there. Like, I don't see any way that we get to the end of the season and Columbus doesn't make a change at general manager in the
Right.
offseason.
Yeah.
Because that's when you change general managers. Like, a team can't be playing poorly and be like, we'll get rid of the general manager. This will change things because your product is on the ice. The general manager is not. He's several steps removed from affecting anything on the ice in the short term. So it doesn't do anything organization-wise.
Yeah.
Unless somebody becomes available that you're like, oh,
Uh-huh.
jump on this guy right now before anybody else takes him when they change their management in the offseason.
Right.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll get rid of ours early. And
Ah. Yes.
so I guess I wouldn't be surprised if that happens between now and the end of the year, because there's a general manager and president of hockey operations change
Yeah.
that ownership is currently working behind the scenes to address.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you too on that. But I don't expect anything, but wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. So,
I hear Pierre Dorian is available.
isn't Berkey also? I mean, yeah, whatever.
He is, but he's doing something with the Women's Hockey League. So
Oh, that's right. He's booked. Yeah. Darn, missed their chance.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Alrighty, then. Anything else on the Metro before we bug it to the Atlantic?
Second most boring division in hockey. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
They're in the bottom half of interesting.
Hey, but you know, at least your team's in a secure spot. Well, it's curious.
Oh. All right, Atlantic.
We got the good, who is?
This is weird to say out loud, but it's the Detroit Red Wings, folks.
Woo! So I gotta say what we can do. So you know, all
Gotta
I think
say
this one
what
will
we
be here to say.
There's it's okay. There's so much to run through with the Wings because they have done so many things the off season to try and put out a better product, and then even in season, trying to improve their team and put out a better product. It's been surprising to see them win as much as they have.
Right.
There's still games where you feel like, yep, that's Detroit. Like maybe tonight where they were up 4 goals and then gave up 4 goals and then gave up another goal and then tied the game and then gave up another goal and then went to overtime and lost again. The Sharks? um, yeah, I don't know how you can play so well one night and then so not well the other night, but you can. Maybe it has something to do with you included a player into your roster tonight that used to
Right.
play for your mortal enemy, that led your mortal enemy. This is very much a conflicting time to be a Red Wings fan.
Yep. I'm there with you.
Uh, I understand taking the risk on Patrick Kane. I understand that it's kind of a win-win situation to where, like, hey, if he doesn't work out, it didn't cost you much. You could throw
Mhm.
an LTIR if you need to. If he works out but the team goes downhill, you can flip him at the deadline. And if he ends up being good for you, great. You got a cheap asset. If he ends up being
Right.
really good, hey, great. Maybe you have somebody that wants to sign for a couple extra years as
Yeah.
you enter your legitimate window of, hey, we're going to be a playoff team every year.
Right. Did you ever see term and money amounts on that deal, or?
Yeah, it was like 2.75 was the actual cap hit for for 1 year, which ends up being only $2 million for the rest of the year because he missed the first quarter of the year.
Right. Okay.
Basically, he cost us $2 million, but he cost us 2.75 against the cap.
So weird, but yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm sure there was a full no trade in there or no movement clause, so that he can't.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, fine, you can send me to Boston,
Yeah.
but
Crazy.
and well, yeah, the Wings have been a interesting, fascinating, exciting team this year, and of the teams that were like poised to make a jump, right? Because you kind of have Detroit, Buffalo, and Ottawa all sitting here as like these three teams that have been in the back seat of Boston, Florida, Toronto, Tampa Bay.
Uh-huh.
Those have been the guys that dominated the division for the last half decade, and those three teams I mentioned have all been rebuilding and sucking for a while. And this was the year where it's like those teams are all going to make a jump, and some of the teams at the top are going to get older and fall back. So we're going to have a pretty tight division, which honestly we do have a fairly tight division, I would say. I mean, I don't know if it's that much tighter than any other division, but
Mm-hmm.
we, it's good. It's entertaining. Um, and Detroit's been the one that's risen the best out of those groups because when we get to the bad, the ugly, we're gonna talk about the other two.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, strip the band-aid. And who's you having slotted as the bad right now?
The bad is the Buffalo Sabres, which
Ugh.
may be a little unfair because they lost Tage Thompson for a large number of games. They brought in David Levi. They thought was going to be, hey, this is our savior, and he's not been. He's been outplayed by the guys who are already on the roster.
Ooh, awkward.
And they I feel like last year was kind of like this magical year for Buffalo where they had guys going off like crazy, and even when they were going off like crazy, they still weren't a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then this year they're not going off like crazy, and they're back to being a bad team.
Right.
So I'm not saying like Don Granato's the next guy to get canned, but it's like you need more out of Buffalo watching like Detroit play better than you, and even at this point, watching
Yeah.
Montreal Canadiens play better
Oh,
than you.
golly.
Um,
That's rough. That's rough.
yeah. So yeah, Sabres just bad,
Yeah.
disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm just
and
mad. I'm just disappointed.
you'd be bottom of the division if it wasn't for the fact that the Senators have played 6 fewer games than you.
Oh, that's
Otherwise,
brutal.
you probably would be the bottom of the division, and you might be the ugly as opposed to the bad.
Yeah,
But
but
seeing that there's a team left over to talk about,
yeah.
we should talk about the ugly Ottawa Senators.
Ugh, do we have to?
Well, everybody else gets to, so we probably should.
Right.
Uh, so the Senators, for where they're at, you could say, hey, they haven't played as many games as other people. They have a positive goal differential. It's like, yes, but you're still last in your division. And even if you moved your points
Ugh.
percentage where you would be, you would just jump one spot to still behind the Montreal Canadiens. Like you're
Right.
still stuck in your division if we say, okay, well, if you played the rest of your games at this pace, this is where you would be. So they're not
Oh.
they're not that much better. They're a team that I don't watch a ton of their games,
Mm-hmm.
just the ones that basically the Wings play against them.
Yeah. Right.
And they're a team that's like you feel like they're always a threat, but they're never dominant. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're still probably just a young team, still figuring it out, and I don't know that the coach is going to last the season at this
Right.
rate. I think expectations are higher, and
Oh
it's a
yeah.
in the team. I think they're not going to change coach because they're trying to gain some stability because they've recently been purchased, so ownership changed hands.
Right. Yeah.
Then some investigations from previously turned out
Yeah.
that
Ugh.
oh hey, one, you had a player that was betting on something related, so we're going to suspend him for
Even
41
though he's
games.
not signed.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unsigned and then suspended.
Yeah. That
Uh,
makes sense.
and then, you know what? There was also, because of that, you're going to lose a number one draft pick because this happened, which people, including me, think will eventually get rescinded to like a second round draft pick.
Right.
And
Yeah.
because that happened, you're like, you know what? We need to fire the general manager. So the new owner comes in and fires the general manager shortly after taking over, even though it's like well, you don't want to come in and start just cleaning house, but it's like, well, I found a reason to clean house.
Right? Oh yeah.
So fun. Um,
Mm.
yeah, just the auto centers always have drama around them, and this year is another high drama year for the Ottawa
Oh,
Senators.
yeah. Just another Tuesday.
Yep, and maybe they want things to calm down, but I think they will not to calm down. I think eventually
Yeah.
you fire the coach when we get to the new year,
Mm-hmm.
probably, and they're still 7 or 8 points out of a playoff spot,
Hey,
and they're like, we got to do something to try and save this year. Let's bring in a different coach.
it
I hear
worked
Jay
for St.
Woodcroft.
Louis that one year, so you know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
Jay Wilcox's available. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Oh yeah, all
But
coming together.
you realize that even if you do make a coaching change, do bring up a new goaltender, go on a playoff run, win the Stanley Cup, you're still going to lose to the Arizona Coyotes in 4 years.
Oh man, that's miserable,
Yeah, so maybe not worth it.
right? All right.
But yeah,
Any other teams to highlight out of the Atlantic then?
we can't really go a podcast without just mentioning Toronto Maple Leafs, who lost
Sure we
their
can.
goaltender. Um, Joseph Woll goes down,
Oh
finishes,
yeah.
miss some significant time.
Ooh, yeah.
Uh, so that's fun. I mean, if they want to come get James Reiner from the Red Wings, we could probably
Right.
work a deal. We'd love to see
Yeah.
that guy back.
Right. Yeah.
But
Uh,
no, other than that,
so the
still surprised.
Panthers.
I was gonna say I'm surprised at Boston, but no, the Panthers playing really well also
Yep.
is a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Boston too. I'm like, I don't want to talk about Boston. Blech. So, but the Panthers, yeah, I did not expect them to be up where they are either right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But looking at the Atlantic, I feel like I'm looking at 5 playoff teams out of the
Yeah,
Atlantic,
I would agree with that. Yep.
um, which is crazy. Um,
Yeah,
but hey, it makes for some really fun, entertaining hockey games.
that does. Unlike that one year where all 8 teams were decided by, or no, was that was the Metro? I think. Yeah. Oh, or no, that was the entire East. All 8 teams were decided by February. It's just a matter of positioning. It's like, that was.
Yeah, they all got like
Uh
100
huh.
points.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, should be entertaining. I mean, we're a quarter way through the season at this point, so
Right. See what
we'll
happens.
assess again at the halfway point and see, hey, how things shaking out.
Right. I expect the Flames to be sniffing around the wild card spot. I don't really know if they're gonna jump in there, but they should be right around it. We'll see. Expectations are low. They were kind of low coming in. They're lower now, so yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? Highlight, rundown, quick.
No, I think that is the gist of what I got today.
Well, I had a fun random stat for you that's still true, so I'm going to say it was still true. Right now, there are 3 teams who have 5 regulation wins: the Canadiens, the Kraken, and the Blackhawks. There are also 3 teams who have 6 regulation wins, who are the Sharks, the Ducks, and you want to take a stab at the last team?
Uh, give me the start of that stat again.
Regulation wins.
Regulation wins. Okay.
Uh-huh. With 6.
It, with 6, so there were 3 teams with 5.
3 teams with 5: Canadiens, the Kraken, and the Blackhawks.
Okay.
3 teams with 6: the Ducks, the Sharks, and blank.
I'm gonna go with the Maple Leafs.
That is correct.
I
They
think
have
I remember that being
6.
a stat earlier this year where people were bemoaning the fact that it's like they're not winning games in regulation. It's like,
Yeah.
but they're still winning games, but not in regulation.
Yeah, they must all be going on a shootout because they have the same number of regulation and overtime wins as the Ducks with 9. Yeah, I heard the other too. Is like, no, there's what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
Hmm.
4-1 in the shootout. Well, that's crazy. But I'd throw that out there. Like, the Leafs and Ducks are tied in the same category with the Sharks right now. So that's forever time stamped.
Interesting. Um, I have not pulled this up,
Huh?
but do you know who like is leading the league in points, goals, assists?
Ooh. No, I think
I'm wondering how many like the
Kucherov.
top five I could get. Yeah, Kucherov is I think up there. Well, I know he's up there. I think he is leading. Um,
Let's see
but it's a weird year because usually you can just say
here. Yeah.
McDavid, Draisaitl, Pasternak,
Matthews.
like this is a normal, the usual suspects. But if I had
Yeah.
to guess as to, like who was leading this league in goals right now, ah, I feel like it's gonna be somebody almost random, like somebody on like Florida, like a Verhage or something,
Well,
just like Reinhardt or
let's see here.
something like that.
Let's see here.
Because like
Uh,
I know Matthews in spurts puts in a lot of goals. I know there's a point where DeBrincat was leading in goals, but that I know he was passed a while back.
say Matthews is top 5. He's number 4 with 16.
How is Pasta doing? Is Pasta still on that list?
Costa. No, he's 10th with 14. Well, tied for 9th with 14.
Okay, so who's just put him? Oh, where is Kyle Connor?
He is 6th with 15. Kucherov is 3rd with 17. Tied for 2nd with 17.
Okay, so there's
He'll,
somebody that has more than 17 goals this year
yep. Yeah.
in 27 games, probably.
Yes. 26. Top guy has 26 games. Second guy has 25 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's just putting it away this year? And I assume it's a name I know.
Uh huh.
Is it somebody like an Elias Pettersson?
No, but you are on the correct team.
Is it JT Miller?
This year, no, he is 11th with 14.
So is it Hughes?
Nope.
I'm
Brock
on the correct.
Besser
What?
has 18.
Brock Besser has 18 goals
Yeah.
in 26 games.
Yeah.
Didn't he request a trade last year?
I believe so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, we could have sat here all night now.
Uh
Don't know that.
huh. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I better help you out with this one because I did double take out reading that one too. So we have number 1, number 3, number 4. Number 2 and number 5 are still out there.
Number 2, number 5. Okay. Give me a team for number 2.
Number 2 is for Florida.
Okay, so there's that. What's his name? Is that Sam Reinhart?
That would be correct.
Okay.
17 and 25. And number 5 is for the Rangers.
Panarin?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
number 1. I know, it's such a weird year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do assists? Points? Penalty minutes? Just kidding.
I'm assuming points is still Kucherov.
Points is Kucherov, number 1 with 44. Yep.
Okay. He's at 44. Son of a gun.
I know.
As a benchmark, where is Quinn Hughes? Because I know he was leading defenseman in points.
He is 4th. Tied for 4th with 36.
So if he's at 4th, Pedersen was around him at one point. Is he still there?
He is tied for 6th with 34.
Okay. Then I assume some of the usual suspects, what we just talked about, like I would assume Brock Besser has a few assists to go along with all his goals and is also there? Or is he
he's
literally
13th. 18 goals, 12 assists for 30 points.
Oh, so he's like a Cy Young Award
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 of these names have already been mentioned. One was on the board, one was not on the board.
I think maybe I'm getting too tired to be very good at this game. Is Panarin up there? Panarin's usually
Panarin, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, no. I'm looking at. Yeah, he's 3rd. 3rd of 37. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
I feel a little bit better about myself now.
Yeah.
give me the rest because it's going to be in guys like, oh yeah, I should have known JT Miller had all those points, or I should have known that McKinnon was on a tear or something. But
Yeah.
I don't know tonight.
Yeah, well, number 2 plays for Vancouver.
Number 2 plays for Vancouver. Wait,
But,
so Vancouver has like 2, 5, and 6.
yeah, 2, 4, and 6. Or, yeah. 2, 4, and 6, yep. And you literally just said his name.
JT Miller.
39.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. And tied for 4th, plays for Boston.
So that's pasta.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding.
How big is the discrepancy between Pasta's points and the next best player on the Boston Bruins?
41st, Brad Marchand with 24.
So he's 12 points clear from March.
Yeah. Yep.
After 25 games. So at this
Yep.
pace, he's going to be like 48 points clear, 40 some points clear, like best player on his team.
Yeah.
He might win the MVP.
Right. I know.
Which I'm not sure I'm ready for. I'm not sure I'm ready for that string. Huh.
Alright, any other stats you want to guess at, or should we,
No, just give me some highlights of him because I really haven't been paying attention. So, run me down the top 5 assist guys or anybody that's up there. Like, did you believe that this guy actually got 7th in the assists or whatnot?
Let's see here. Yeah, no, 2 D-men are leading an assist. Hughes and Makar both have 27. Kucherov also has 27. McKinnon has 25, and JT Miller has 25. Wow. Hughes and Makar are also plus 18, along with Barkov plus 18. Forsling is plus 15. Kempe is plus 15 with Sam Reinhart. And Drew Doughty. What? Wow. Okay. That's crazy.
What I find, go ahead. Well, I was gonna say that what I find interesting is that like we talked about like the Kings having like a really good points percentage and the Rangers having really good points percentage, and they don't have guys showing up on these lists like Vancouver and whatnot. Is that it seems like they must be doing it as a team and not as individuals.
Weird.
Okay.
Continue. Yeah. So let's see here. Current best save percentage. I don't know if we can really do that one. Just do wins. Georgiev has 14. Demko has 12. Bobrovsky has 12. Cam Talbot has 12. And Connor Ingram and Hellebuck are tied for 11.
Okay.
So,
what about goals against average?
Goals against average. So this one's always kind of hard because then you got guys who have only 1 game played. So I'll just jump to the Alex Lyon, 5 games played, 1.61. Cam Talbot, 17 games played, 1.84. Aiden Hill, 14 games played, 1.87. Jeremy Flamin, 13 games, 2.08. And Nedeljkovic, 5 games, 2.18. Connor Ingram, 15 games, 2.23.
Who's Cam Talbot playing for? The
Kings, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's a great one for you. Jonathan Quick, 9 games, 2.34, 918 save percentage.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well,
you just never know, I guess. What's going to happen?
We'll see how look in another month or two, and we'll be like, oh, you know what? These things didn't stay the same.
Yeah, so I guess that's fun of the NHL, the parody. As if your team is on the good side of the parody.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, anything else to add, or shall we call it to a close?
I think I have had enough.
Alrighty, Sam here. So I'm Justin,
I'm Alexander.
and we're the Hockey Podcast you're about to hear, which is did. So thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.